plugs for one man.
I
have the same, but the more butt pluggy version.
I've got 5 more butt plugs at home.
I prefer the newer ones, but you prefer the old ones.
I prefer the old. The new ones, because I've got fat hands. These are like better. They've got more grip, you know.
The only thing I really like about the old ones, which I don't think the new ones do, is this.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that used to unscrew them, drill a hole in tanks, screw them in, and build a hole in the tank as well. Yeah. It's the only thing I don't like about the newer ones. But the newer ones, I prefer the grip.
Yeah, the new ones to me are pointless because they're too slender. Because you end up holding onto the weird little neck. It's like, well, I might as well just hold on to the model of that.
I love the way that. So I hold it like literally like that on the neck. So I really prefer. I genuinely prefer it.
And a lot of people are like, oh, I've got one, I only need one. And I'm like, no. If I'm painting 10 models, I don't want to have to change between models.
I have 11.
Yeah, I've got 15.
Oh, all right, you win.
I've got 15, and I've got one of the really big ones.
I have one really big one with the little arms, bloop, 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 where you can hold things. But I have 11 because that's 10 and a squad leader.
I bought the army one with the little clips specifically for Saint Celestine.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fair.
So you clip on around when you paint that.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on what is an incredibly grim day here on the South Coast. It is pissing down. Luce told me today that the rain came from Italy, so fuck you, Italy. But welcome back to the channel. This was almost not a stream. I've already seen someone in chat be like, oh, he's late again. Right, fuck you. I've been in Southampton General Hospital until like 12 o'clock. Yeah. And then I had to get home, drop the wife and kids off, sort some shit out, come over here. We thought it was gonna be a half-an-hour appointment. It was a pre-made appointment, but we thought it was gonna be a half-an-hour appointment for Luce. It ended up being like 3 hours in the hospital. So I make no apologies. Fuck you. Oh, you're lucky you've got a show. Be grateful. Yeah. There we go. Right, good. Got that out of the way. Anyway. Because also, I haven't had time to prep because I thought I'd be over at 11 o'clock. I didn't really have a stream time. I was like, do you know what we haven't actually done? We haven't actually just sat and discussed the new Codex since it came out.
Which was very generously sent to us by Games Workshop.
It is generously sent to us by Games Workshop. So big shout out Games Workshop for sending us the box.
I'm ready for all debate. Right, quick addendum. Right, I went to the doctor yesterday because of my coughing. I've got an inflamed throat, chest, and lungs thanks to COVID.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I blame the north because it's got progressively worse.
When you went up there?
Yeah.
It's a cold air, I told you.
It's got so basically, I have to keep myself warm at all times. I've got an inhaler, but I can only take it in the morning at night because otherwise.
Yeah, it's like a fucking gremlin.
Yeah.
Take it in the morning, not after midnight.
Yeah, because otherwise, I won't die. But apparently, two is enough. But,
yeah. Is everything okay with Luce? Luce is fine. Right, so second addendum before we get into the actual topic, because she spoke about this on stream before, so it's not like it's like breaking news. Luce was having problems with being ill and unwell and fatigued and tired and other problems for the last maybe 12 months plus. And it got to a point where I was like, you need to see a doctor because it keeps coming back and it keeps getting worse. So she went to the doctors, she said a raft of tests, and they found markers for an autoimmune condition. Now, what that basically means is there are occasions where her immune system starts attacking things despite the fact there's nothing wrong with her. That then causes her to feel under the weather, to feel unwell, to get tired, etc. So today she went for the first time to see a lupus doctor because they thought it might be lupus. She's done some checking of what's going on. She's had more tests today, blood work, x-rays, etc. And they're looking for what exactly is causing the problem and what's causing her to be under the weather and get huge amounts of fatigue. It's not crippling fatigue, so we're okay right now, but it's enough that it's just not nice for her, especially if we're supposed to be going and doing a nice weekend or spending a day as a family or whatever. So before everyone panics, Luce is okay, she's fine, but we're getting the doctors to check it out and find what's going on, and there is something that's going on. So that's what that was this morning, but when we got the appointment through, we were like, it'll be 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And we were there for like 2.5 hours. So, and I know what you're saying in chat. It's not House, right? It's apparently a joke from House.
Oh.
It's never lupus.
I've only watched one episode of House.
I've never seen any of it, but I was talking to someone about this at the weekend and they said the same thing, so.
Yeah.
So she's fine. I don't want anyone to worry, she's fine, but I said to Nathaniel, I almost had to cancel the show because I didn't think I was going to get her in time. We are, however, here in time, so we'll do a show. Also, I need to build more Eldar models. If you watched last night's stream, you'll know why, okay? But yeah, it should be fine, she'll be okay. We've caught it early enough that they're already looking into what's causing it and what the problem is, so I'm not massively concerned.
Yeah.
That being said, the NHS is fucking wildly stretched, so I'm hoping we get to the bottom of it. We don't know.
Yeah. And everyone's also asking us about Space Marine 2. We're going to stream it all day Monday.
Basically, everyone around me is dying, including Joe, because I'm fit and healthy. So yeah, I have to carry the shows. We'll be fine. Space Marine 2. Right, Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2 for early access came out today, I think, maybe yesterday. I'm not sure.
It came out. It's early access today, or early access if you're a big boy.
Yeah, if you're an important person, which we're not.
Yeah.
We haven't really done video game content before, especially around Space Marine. So, early access was like last night today. I am being tattooed all day tomorrow. We want to do Blood Angels preview stuff today. Joe's daughter's birthday is Saturday, so there was literally no point in the pair of us spending what was essentially £20 to £30 each to get early access, right? So we're going to be doing it on Monday. So I've got Mr. the War Hipster to agree to log on at midday with us, hoping that we've already been able to pre-install and get ready to play. I've got Mr. the War Hipster to agree to log on at midday with us on Monday on this channel, not on the gaming channel, on this channel. And we're going to do the 3-player campaign. Yeah. And I think we're going to do like an 8 to 10 hour run through and see if we can get it done.
I like it.
Which would be fucking cool.
Yeah.
So we will be playing Space Marine 2 on the channel as a streamathon on Monday. Fun fact, I'm going to have a Steam code to give away for the game. All right, so you want to tune in on Monday for Space Marine 2, and at some point, using my giveaway bot, we will be giving away a Steam code for the game, all right? Someone will be able to play. Cool, good, sorted. There we go. That's the pre-stream stuff kind of done.
Yeah.
Right. Joe is our resident Blood Angels expert. Well, Joe and Paddy is our resident Blood Angels experts, but Paddy's obviously working, and Joe has been playing them a lot more recently.
Yeah.
Since 10th edition, Paddy's not played them so much, basically, because his list is like a lot of firstborn stuff.
Yeah, his army's like very firstborn heavy. Like he said he didn't really like the Blade Guard much, and some of the primary stuff that come out. So basically, he was like, they'll get a book eventually. I'll put a pin in it, and he's been really enjoying playing Thousand Suns. Tau.
He's been really enjoying his Tau.
Yeah, he's really enjoying Tau. He's got the Thousand Suns. He had their little pet project, which was his Alpha Legion. So now this book's out, I think he's like now cool. I've got at least 2 straight years of this Codex minimum.
Yeah, well, he's also, because of the box set, he's also got, and he'll probably buy the Combat Patrol, he'll got access to a lot of the new stuff as well.
Yeah.
So
Paddy
will be back on the Blood Angels soon. He's urging Joe to continue specifically with Flesh Tearers so that he can be Blood Angels and Joe can be Flesh Tearers and he can still play them on the channel.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Paddy, even if Joe pivoted into Blood Angels away from Flesh Tearers, which I think you shouldn't, but even if he did, you'd still be able to play Blood Angels if you want to. And the reason why he's keen to play as Blood Angels on the channel is because he's also seen the book and he's quite excited for it.
Yeah.
Now, I think that it's a shame, personally, that content out there, the rhetoric out there around the Blood Angels release is that they've lost lots of flavour, the models are worse, blah, 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 which I think is a crying shame. And the reason why I think that, and the reason why we're doing this stream, is because I think the book is really good.
Oh, the book is incredible.
Now, it is, of course, a Space Marine supplement, which means it isn't a full codex, which means if you want to play this book, the downside is you do also have to buy the Space Marine codex. Sucks a little bit, but that is the case.
Yeah.
And then you get to bolt this stuff on top. So not only do you get access to the 7 detachments in the Space Marine book, of which a few of them are still quite good.
Yeah.
A couple of them, like Flamecraft, of things like Bile Predators, very good, right? You still can use all those things we've seen before. We're not going to talk about how Blood Angels units work in Space Marine detachments, though. We're going to talk about Blood Angels units and Blood Angels detachments.
Yeah.
And it's mostly over to Joe whilst he's rimming his own models.
Yeah, I'll get around to the ribbing. But first, thank you, Sam Deacon, for 5 gifted memberships. I hope that next time you buy a Victoria sponge cake, the cream in the middle is not too sugary. Sometimes it's a bit.
Sometimes it's overpoweringly sugary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a thick inch wedge in the middle of just like solid sugary cream.
Yeah.
I hope it's like a good cream to jam ratio.
Yeah. If we get to membership goal on the Liam and Joe show, all you're doing is proving that you really love Loose. Emotional blackmail, Joe. It always works.
Oh. Yeah. What about me? I'm ill.
I mean, we already know they really love you.
And then thank you, White55, for 5 good memberships. I hope that you have the capacity to play Space Marine 2 and you get all of the achievements in the game.
All of the achievements? That's strong.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I feel like nowadays achievements are significantly more difficult to do in video games.
Yeah. The easiest one to get was it the King Kong game?
I don't know.
There was only one achievement. It was 1,000 points, complete the game.
Oh.
That was it. Someone
Pretty
phoned that in. But sometimes it's like Do a 360 no scope whilst blindfolded, whilst Saturn is in horizon. You know.
Yeah.
That's like that. So, but yeah, it's much. And then obviously, thank you, Harborn Vortex Games for 5 gifted memberships.
Exclamation mark Vortex for Mr. the Harborn. What a legend. Thanks, dude. You're a hero.
I hope that you make an absolute mint on the next pre-order day.
I think you've hoped him that a few times now.
Yeah.
I think now if he has any kind of success, we can attribute it to Joe's wishes.
Yeah.
And therefore, Joe will be asking for 10%.
He said, also, shameless plug, he says he's put in here, if you're in Canada and still looking for a Blood Angels box, Vortex Games still has a couple left. Support Liam and get your Bangles plastic crack.
I mean, that's not a shameless plug, mate. You literally sponsored the channel.
But there are people looking for it. So.
Exclamation mark Vortex.
Yeah.
Right? There you go. Well, legend, thank you. Thank you for the 15 team. You're amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to go through. I'm thanking Connor Ed for 5 good memberships. I hope.
I got a hope for him.
What's that?
I hope that when the World Eaters Codex comes out, in terms of rules at least, we're just as excited for it as the Blood Angels book.
Yeah, I hope Khan's good.
I hope he's better than Strength 6.
That blew me. I had a little game with this morning. He shocked me. Thank you, Stephen Wimmer, for 10 gifted memberships. I hope that you
Suck a fat one. No.
unless you want to. I hope that next time you go to the pub, their special of the day is Cumberland sausage with chips and beans. And it's like a really big, thick Cumberland sausage, but it's like really like round, like proper, really tightly wound perfectly.
30 gifted off the bat. Thank you, team. If you've got Blood Angels, if you've got Blood Angels related questions, stick them in chat. We may get to them. If you want to guarantee we get to them, super chat them, and Joe will at some point read it out and respond to your question. We probably have an answer for you if it's Blood Angels specifically related, right? But if you just put it in chat, I'll try and catch them as they come through when we're at like lulls in the content, but we might not definitely because chat moves quite a lot on these. Yeah. I do have chat in front of me here. Joe's got monetize in front of him. I've got chat in front of me, right?
Yeah, Sam Deacon, they'll never get +2 attacks, +2 strength. So I think they'll get +1 attack, +1 strength still.
As one of the detachment rules.
As one of the detachment rules, because I was talking about this morning. They won't get +2 strength like Blood Angels. So Blood Angels have +2 strength because it puts their strength 4 to strength 6, and the majority toughness in the game is 5 and 6, right? That's why when it was +1 strength, they were doing terribly.
Yeah.
Right.
And World Eaters start at?
World Eaters start at strength 5.
Yep.
So they get +1 to go to 6. So they're actually the same.
Yeah.
Same but different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I played this one last week, the Liberator Assault Force, which is the same +1 attacks, +2 strength. I think this is the best detachment in the game.
In the game?
In the game.
Wow, that's a strong accolade for it.
Right, so it has...
I didn't think you'd go that strong straight away, Joe. Strongest detachment in the game.
In the game, right? And the worst thing is they put this one first out of the 3. Right.
Okay.
It has arguably 5 of the 6 stratagems you want to see in your detachment.
Okay, go
in
for
your
it.
army's detachment, right? And it has the best version of how to do stratagems correctly.
Okay.
Right. The worst one of the 6 is Angelic Grace, which is when you take mortal wounds, you get a 5-up feel no pain.
Which is still not bad.
Right. And
that's still good.
It's only bad because it's not just a straight 5-up feel no pain. But as we know, 5-up feel no pains are obnoxious. And you get 5-up feel no pains by having a priest in your army, in your unit anyway.
Yeah, but you don't get that on jump infantry anymore.
No, so this is like a level of protection on other stuff, right? You've got Armour of Contempt, which is, you don't see it as much anymore, but it's still very, very good. Because those are stuff in the game as a 4-up in run now.
Yep.
So, you've got Savage Echoes. So in your opponent's charge phase, which is interesting because you're in your charge phase, not in the fight phase. Right.
Okay.
And so once you've been charged, you pick either strength or attacks. Right. You used to get +1 strength or +1 attack. So it's like a counter charge, or you can force yourself to be battle shocked, and then you get both. And this is what I mean by the best way I've ever writing stratagems. You've got two options on this one stratagem. You can have one or the other, or both, but there's a negative.
I also, I both love and hate this from a narrative perspective. So being battle shocked is about as close as you're going to get to being narrative and falling to the Black Rage.
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah.
However, if you use that stratagem in the first battle round and you fall to the Black Rage and you get both, is it Black Rage or Red Thirst? What are they calling it?
The Red Thirst.
Oh, okay, slightly better then. Because the Black Rage there's no coming back from.
Yeah.
So in that case, narrative, they quite like it.
Yeah.
You fall to the Red Thirst for a turn, you go bonkers, but you can't focus on holding objectives.
Suck all the blood.
Yeah. And also, once you've used that stratagem, you then can't use another one.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm a big fan of it.
And if you do it in your opponent's turn, you're potentially giving up holding an objective to potentially kill the unit that fought you. So it's like it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
really.
I'm a big fan.
So I really like it. And then you've got Red Rampage, which is in the fight phase. You can either have lance or lethal hits, right? So if you've charged, you can give yourself lance, and if your opponent's phase, you can give yourself lethal hits defensively, which is really good. Or you can fall to the Red Thirst, become battle shocked, and have both.
Love it.
Right? So you've got one strat which gives you +1 strength for attack in your opponent's phase, and then you've got another one which gives you lance and lethal hits, which is in your opponent's phase or your own phase, which are great. Just being able to give yourself lethal hits.
Also, makes a single stratagem 3 uses.
Yeah.
Because you got 1 CP you can get lance, or 1 CP you can get lethal hits, or 1 CP you can get both with a negative.
Yeah.
And that's there's 3 uses from a single stratagem, which is cleverly done.
You've got aggressive onslaught, which is a command point. So in your movement phase, you can either
touch my body,
advance and shoot, or advance and charge, or fall to the Red Thirst.
Advance, shoot and charge.
Advance, shoot and charge. Which, all right, so having a 1 CP advance and charge strat is mental good, by the way.
It's the one thing that you said previously that the Flesh Terrors list you were building needed.
Yeah, it's the only thing that the old detachment needed, which was advance and charge. Now, you've got that one, and you can advance, shoot and charge. I don't think you'll because it's an assault-heavy army, you're not going to use the shoot very often, but, but if you're using things like Brutalis.
But even then, like you've said it yourself, right? There's an argument to say that Stern Guard with a priest with -1 in melee at strength 6, -1 damage is still decent. So you might want to fall back, shoot your Stern Guard, charge back in again.
Well, no, that's Relentless Assault, which is fall back and charge, fall back, shoot or charge.
Oh, that's advanced shoot and charge.
Yeah, so aggressive onslaught is forward, always going forward, and then Relentless Assault is like you've charged. You could fall back and then charge, or you could fall back and shoot, they've got 1 CP for advance and shoot, or advance and charge, or advance shoot and charge, and then they've got 1 CP for fall back and shoot, or fall back and charge, or fall back shoot and charge. Yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ!
Literally, all the best stratagems.
Okay, I'm starting to see your point.
They've just got access. Right, so what they've lost compared to the other detachment, because the other detachment didn't have the 5 up feel no pain, it had fight on death. If it still had that, I would argue that
it was cracked.
No detachment that ever came before or after would ever beat the detachment.
That's mental, Joe. That's actually really good.
So the fact that it's lost fight on death is quite big for circumstantial. So it means that how you played your army before has to slightly change now.
Yeah, but the fight on death has been moved to which we'll get to.
Which has been moved.
It has been moved to the Death Company detachment, which narratively I think makes more sense.
Yeah. So with this detachment, I've played it earlier and it's worked all right. So going forward, I'm probably going to be looking at, instead of captains in like my things like Blade Guard, I take the Judica. So you've lost fight on death, but you've now got fight first.
I think fight first is one of the strongest rules in the game.
But it's a weird. So like, who's going through the science of it is like a captain has got 6 wounds. A Judica's got 4.
Yeah,
he's more weak. They both got 4 up in running combat. The captain's got 6 attacks, strength 5 -2 damage, but he has 1 turn where he gets to be really, really good, which is the extra 3 attacks and gets dev.
Yeah.
But the Judica's got 5 attacks at strength 7, -2/2. But he's got precision and devastating wounds.
The thing you do lose, though, which I think is actually quite important considering how good your
Strats is
your use of
stratagem.
stratagems is, because
Yeah.
your stratagems are so incredibly powerful. Like, it's not you don't look at the stratagems and go, well, I'm going to use that one every turn.
Yeah.
You look at the stratagems and go, they're all pretty useful.
Yeah.
So the thing the captain does give you is the option to use one for free.
Yeah, so I think but then obviously you're going to have captains in your army that are going to be going in assault intercessors, or assault intercessors jump packs. You can have captains that go into sanguinary guard.
Can only one captain use that ability per turn, or can all of your captains?
You can all do it. You can all do it in the same turn.
That's mental.
Now let me just check. Let's see on this captain.
Oh, captain, you're captain. The rules aren't right.
Yeah, so once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this model can. So yeah, if you've got 6 captains on the table, they can all do it.
That's mad good.
Yeah.
You smell pretty.
Yeah, I didn't have a bath. I didn't have a shower this morning.
Maybe that's what it is then.
Because I overslept, and then basically I overslept, and I had to get my daughter to school. So it was like 15 minutes. It's either a case of I have a shower, get ready for work, and she's late to school, or I get her to school and I smell a bit. So I went for the get her to school. So now I'm just smothering myself in deodorant and smelly stuff. And then the enhancements for this detachment are also brilliant, but there's a lot of once per battle. So the first one, speed of the Primarch, once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this bearer uses enhancement, it does, until the end of the phase, models in the bearer's unit have the fights first.
I think, though, although it's once per battle, I still think that's incredible strategy.
Oh, it's amazing.
Not stratagem, sorry, enhancement.
Yeah.
Because the threat of it, the threat of you turning on fights first, will mean that people go. So it's no different to having fights first. People are going to go. The only thing I can think of is a person might go, I'm going to charge you and sacrifice in the hope that you turn on your fights first. Now you've turned on your fights first, cool. Now I'm going to charge you next turn and you haven't got it anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So people have to basically throw a unit at you to get rid of the fights first.
Yeah, but what it's really good at, what's really, really good at, is against units that have fight first.
Okay, how?
Because
if they charge you...
If they charge you, it has to go, like, there's no way of interrupting it.
Yeah.
So having a fight first defensively is great.
Oh my God, this model is so pretty.
Yeah. Also, versus things like Incubi is incredible. Things like Banshees, it's really good. It's just, it gives you just a great way of like holding objectives, scaring away.
Yeah, I think how many points is that enhancement? Do we know?
Speed of the Primarch.
Not that the points are ever accurate.
Yeah, not that the points in this actually ever mean anything ever. Speed of the Primarch is 30 points. Right?
That's quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, but you've got to think what that can go in. That can go in 6 Vanguard, that can go in 6 Blade Guard.
10 Death Company.
10. You can go in 10 Death Company, because it can go on the captain. Or even the chaplain. Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. The next one, I really like this one, but it's incredibly situational. But put on the right person, it can pop off. Right, so it's once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, the bearer can use his enhancement. If it does, until the end of the phase, the bearer's melee weapons have the sustained hits 3.
You love a sustained, don't you?
I love a sustained hit. So what you do with this sustained hits 3 is you put it on the Blade Guard captain, or the normal, or the other captain with the power fist. So because he's got 6 attacks base, he charges 7. He goes best day ever 10. So he's got 10 attacks, and you put on a unit that you've charged into for reroll all hits with Oath. So you're like, that's 10 attacks. I'm going to reroll everything, fishing for those 6s, right? And then it'll be strength 7. So maybe you put Lance on him or something, or you have him in it. Or the best thing is you have him in a unit of assault intercessors on foot, because then he gets to reroll wounds. So he's looking at something like maybe 13. He's going to between 13 and 19 attacks on his own.
Rossonera's getting excited, isn't he?
And then with those 9 attacks, your strength 7 dev wounds at -2, re-rolling wounds if you're on the assault intercessors. He's just go in and absolutely clap something. He's like, and you're dead.
You're basic.
Yeah, you're basic. Die, Horus. Ugh. I think that's really, really good, and I don't think people understand how good it is.
The sustained hits?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if I had a choice of one or the other at the moment, I'm taking the fights first.
You could take both.
No, I know you can. That's why I said if I had the choice of one or the other, Joe. Listen to the words I'm using.
I think the fights first, but then you could have fights first on a Judica and then give him sustained hits 3 with precision. He's got dev wounds anyway, and he's stronger.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, murder town, please, thank you.
Please and thank you.
He gets less attacks though. Gets 3 less. But I love, that's my favourite one out of them because I think it's just hilarious. You've got Icon on the Angel, which is kind of the same. If someone wants to fall out of combat with them, they have to do a dangerous escape test, and if they are battle shocked already, you take -1. So when you dangerous escape, it's on 1s, 2s, and 3s. It's very, very good. And then Gift of Foresight, once per battle round, after making a hit roll, a wound roll, or a saving throw for the bearer, you could treat the result as an unmodified roll of a 6.
I mean, that's not going to get used.
Well,
The others are so good, Joe.
the others are really good. The thing is, though, I'm one of those people that once I've had an idea, I kind of become a bit
Obsessed?
obsessed and fixated on it.
No.
So he's really good on a Smash Captain with a Thunderhammer for dev wound.
Yeah,
Because it makes him much more survivable. He's really good on a Judica.
I still think the others are just flat better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it hasn't got play. I use it myself in like the Eldar detachment.
Yeah.
On things like the Death Jester. If you like, obviously you can't double stack.
It's better than Icon of
enhancement.
the Angel. It goes, for me, it goes Rage Field, so sustained hits, fights first, re-roll stuff, Desperate Escape test.
I'm going to go, honestly, I'm going to go,
You're going to go fight first, sustained, re-roll stuff, Icon.
yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I'm going to
Icon
go.
is just
I'm going to do the exact same as you, but swap the first 2 around.
Yeah, Icon's just a bit bumhole.
It's not bad. It's just like you said, it's more situational, isn't it?
Yeah. What they should have done is kept in
We also saw
the artisan one.
when we had the Venom blow up on the weekend, and Tom rolled 5.
He rolled 6
ones
1s,
and-
2s, and 3s.
Did he roll 6? Did he?
Yeah.
I thought he rolled 5.
He
I know
rolled-
because one's got 2 wounds. That's why one survived.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we saw what that could do. That's
Yeah.
mad good when it happens. This model, by the way, absolute fucking stunner.
Yeah. So yeah, I honestly think the Liberator Assault Force is really, really, really strong. I also think it's a reason why Blood Angels have to have their own Codex.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because you're
Because
okay.
because everything Space Marines becomes better in this detachment.
Everything Space Marine.
Everything Space Marines. This isn't like your flamer weapons become better, or like your.
Because
Phobos
if you think about it,
units are
even a
better.
tank gets access to a 1 CP fall back and shoot,
Yeah,
which is good.
for a man who likes Land Raider Redeemers, fall back and shoot Land Raider Redeemer is bonkers, by the way.
I'm sure.
Because you're like, cool. So your opponent's like, cool, I've touched it, you're stuck there now, and you're like,
So considering we've got a newfound excitement about events again, we can pretty much assume the army you're going to be running. In events.
I'm Blood Angels all year, mate.
Yeah.
I'm Blood Angels for days. I can't.
And you were doing it before they were super cool.
Yeah, number 1 in the world Flesh Tower player. With 2 games under my belt, or two events under my belt. Yeah, 1 of 1. Yeah, I think. And things are like but it's also terrain dependent as well. I will caveat this. All right, WTC ITC Games Workshop terrain layout is like just like a Blood Angel player's wet dream.
It's a melee player's wet dream.
It's just amazing. If you go to an event that runs the old Vanguard Tactics terrain, not as great because because those terrain layouts are.
No, they're still pretty good.
Well, that terrain's based on 8th and 9th edition.
is.
There's a lot more big gaps in between.
It's
the
less
buildings.
dense, but the way that it used to be set up was that you could hop from objective to objective.
Oh yeah, you can still go build.
undercover.
You can still building hop.
If you had things like 12-inch fly infantry, which Blood Angels get in an abundance, obviously, with things that are usable. So if you have like 6-inch move infantry, a little bit more difficult, but still achievable. But for all the armies that boxers used to like to play, really good. Fast-moving melee harlequins, fast-moving melee Eldar, fast-moving melee Blood Angels. Yeah. You can still do that.
Also, we need to congratulate Melody Wallace for being an incredible human being.
Why? What's she done?
Took Gabriel Seth
Oh, love you already.
to Nova.
De Novo, fucking legend.
Yeah. Went 5. You made 9 games.
Yeah, I can believe that, Nova. We're going to do Nova next year, aren't we?
Yeah, count me in. He's my hero.
Yeah.
Anyone that takes Gabriel Seth is a better human being than anyone else.
Yeah, well done, Melody. That's
Well done,
amazing.
Melody.
Remind me, by the way, after this stream, I'm just thinking about this now
Yeah.
because of the thought about going to Nova. I need to go back on Warmag and order more round circle things.
Magnets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the soft push in the base ones.
Yeah.
Because all the ones
You're always soft pushing it.
all the
aren't
ones
you?
I bought were for wraiths and stuff. So I need to buy a lot for the little guys as well now.
Yeah. It's all about the little guy.
It's all about the little guys. But yeah, remind me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melody, for
So
making me
before I
think about
go on to the next detachment, which is all,
it. So we're categorically saying we've started with the best.
we've started with the best. It's
But not
downhill
just
from
But
here.
not just the best in the book. Joe,
The best.
Joe is
I honestly
leaning
think it's the
into-
best detachment
in the game.
in the game
Okay.
because it affects your entire army. There's no stipulations of like you need to lose models. You need to have lost a unit. You need to have killed a thing. You know. You need to be in your opponent's deployment zone, or you have to be X amount inches away. It just happens, and that's the best kind of detachment.
Which is the next one you're going to read? Is it Death Company?
It is Death Company, but
So the next attachment, before Joe carries on, the next attachment that he's going to read, which is the Death Company one, is the reason why I ordered the Blood Angels box myself.
yeah,
I actually think it also has play.
Because it does, and I do think it's a very good technical tournament army.
Yeah, we'll
It's
go
a
into
great
it.
narrative army.
I've got more opinions on this one, so we'll go into it. But you keep wanting to say something, and I keep jumping in
Right,
front
so I was
of
going
you,
to say we'll do some of the
Yeah,
things.
of course, mate. Yeah.
So Crabbe's Planet says, is it a top 3 10th edition book? Does it beat out the Chaos Space Marine release?
Yes.
Yeah. Pisses all over it.
I think, at the moment at least, in the current meta that exists, this could be the strongest. So there's a caveat here, right? And this is something that annoys me forever, and they know it annoys me, so it's not news to them. But we often don't actually know the points until you lot know the points. So we get given the book, and they don't give us, frustratingly, they don't give us the new points until a day before it goes out to everybody else. And on Thursday, the points come out, and then we get to see. If the points don't change too much from what we've seen in the book,
Yeah.
so, for example, in the book, the points for Death Company are significantly lower than the points that are out there at the moment, which makes sense, because at the moment you can take 10 Power Fists and 10 Infernus Pistols.
Yeah.
In that book, you can't do that. So I would imagine the book points cost will be closer to what they're actually going to be than the current points costs.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I think strongest army in the game right now. S tier.
Yeah. JP Gray says is a baller, and then Sanders says he reckons the Codex points will go up. It'll go up with some units, and I hope some units will come down.
I think it'll go up a little bit on some units. I don't think it's going to be a monumental points increase.
We'll get into that.
But also remembering that Redeemers, Assault Intercessors, they're not going to change. They're Codex Space Marines.
Yeah.
They'll stay the same.
So, but at the same time, because the Liberator Assault Force is so good, it's the reason why I think Blood Angels need their own Codex.
Elaborate.
Because, currently, the best units in the game for this army: Assault Intercessors Jump Packs, Blade Guard. Right, that aren't in this code. They need to have Blood Angels, Blade Guard, Blood Angels, Assault Intercessors, Blood Angels, Assault Intercessors, Jump Packs.
Akin to Black Templars, Gladiators, Black Templars, Librarians.
Even Vanguard. I don't think Vanguard Tactics, no one cares about them. Vanguard Space Marines need their own points. You won't see them very often because they're just not as good. Because the points efficiency is so Assault Intercessors on foot are 75 points for everyone, and you barely see them in any armies because they have no real play in other armies. But in Blood Angels, they're the most efficient 75 points you'll ever spend in your life. Because when you go it's a unit of 5 guys on the charge, 75 points. When they charge, without any upgrades, that's 25 attacks. That's strength 6, -1 damage, re-rolling the wound roll of 1. But if your opponent's on the objective, you re-roll all wounds. a strength 6. It's bonkers.
It is pretty good, isn't it?
Right? And then you've got, and that's in a detachment that gives that unit lance, lethal hit, advance and charge, fallback and charge.
Not bad.
For 1 CP on that unit. And then you layer in things like captains, which give them the stratagems for free. And then you can give them a thunder hammer.
It's fun.
That's fun. Would you get a thunder hammer that goes to strength 10 and 4 attacks instead of 3. But then there's the same problem is multiplied in assault instances with jump packs because they go to 5 attacks each at strength 6 minus 1 damage. But they do mortal wounds on the charge as well, and they have fallback and charge, advance and charge.
This bit's fucking impossible to put in.
And they're only 80 points. And when someone's going, oh, assault intercessors with jump packs 80 points in Iron Hands, Iron Hands like they do secondaries for me, and the Blood Angels like they fuck. They just kill. Like Paddy described, they go into a room and murder everyone, which his Tau can't do. And then, so it says for when you give them the Priest, they go to AP2 and have a 5-up feel no pain. And they're 75 points for 5.
Yeah, they're very efficient in Blood Angels and okay in other detachments.
And then you look at things like Blade Guard, which is like 180 points for 6, but they go up to 5 attacks each, and they've got inbuilt reroll 1s to hit.
That was
and
stressful.
They go to strength 7.
Sorry, I meant to look at you, but that was a stressful moment. I was listening.
They just become the units that you don't see much play in other armies become hyper efficient.
Do you think there's another Space Marine instance where that's going to be the case though? Because I would argue that Dark Angels don't have the same impact on individual generic Space Marine units.
No, I think it's like things like Stern Guard, Vanguard, and Blade Guard become better in one detachment for Dark Angels, but not as good. They get +1 to wound when your opponent's on an objective, but that's only in specific parts of the table. Blade Guard are slow, and like Stern Guard get +1 to wound, but they rely on dev wounds.
Yeah.
So much less efficient. It depends on what Space Wolves and Black Templars get.
Okay. As to whether it's going to be a similar situation.
Yeah, but I think Templars like they rely on. They'll be like flamers. There'll be a detachment for sword brethren or something, and then they'll be like, feel no pains versus wizards or something.
Yeah.
And if you run a librarian, you should be forcibly removed from the hobby. Yeah.
Yeah. You have separate points for Black Templars librarians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I honestly think, in terms of Codex releases for 10th edition, it goes Sisters, Blood Angels, and depending on the person playing the army, those two will alternate.
In terms of which is the strongest?
In terms of which are the strongest, yeah.
Okay, I like both armies, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But then we have the spanner in the works coming up, don't we? Codex Eldar. Or Eldari, sorry.
Codex Eldari, let's be honest, is going to...
And a person who plays Blood Angels quite a lot, and Sisters for that matter, also plays Eldari. There's a pattern emerging here, Jay. Just want to throw that out there. There's a pattern emerging here.
Codex Eldar is going to come out of the gate.
Do you want me to kill that aircon for a minute?
Broke as shit, yes please.
Yeah?
Yeah. That Games Workshop don't know how to write a bad Eldar book.
Well, I don't think it's 100% their own influence. I think it's external influence.
I know, but if you think...
I know I'm throwing shade and being a bit of a knob.
I know, but 7th edition through to 10th edition, even 5th edition Eldar was GOAT.
I know I'm throwing a bit of shade and being a bit of a knob, but in seriousness, there is a pattern.
Yeah. Eldar always good, all the time.
Yeah, but...
Yes, there is also a pattern of outside influence.
Yeah, right, okay. So, I, as a person who is just, massively have a resurgence of love for 40k because I've gone back to my parent faction, who I think currently are a bit shit on the whole. I am worried for that release because I don't want them to come out and be broken.
No.
Because what happens when they come out and they're broken is that within a few months my codex becomes null and void because they've had to update it. And I'd like to actually... I'm a person who does in fact like a book.
Yeah.
This one is one I think we're not going to see much changing. I think the most we'll see in this having read the rules for this book, I think one of the biggest compliments I can give Games Workshop about the Blood Angels Codex, I think the biggest change we'll see will be in points alone.
If they go back from +1, if they go back to +1 strength, +1 attack,
No, I don't think.
I think you see this army fall off a big steep, but they still have access to some of the best stratagems.
I still think the biggest change we're going to see for that particular army and the way everything works will be in points alone.
Yeah.
And if points alone are the only change, I feel like that's good, because then what happens is you don't have to check your book or the app or whatever to see what's changed. You just go, cool, I build my list in the app, the points are right.
What we might see is a points adjustment on units depending on what detachment you're in, which would be interesting.
I would be interested to see if they do go, okay, so we're gonna change not the data sheet, but the points for assault intercessors with jump packs in Blood Angels.
Yeah. Or they create an entirely new.
So instead of having its own
sheet.
codex, it just has its own points for them.
Yeah.
I don't think they should, but they might.
Yeah. And then thank you, Rossonero, for 20 gifted memberships.
Actually, Joe, it's thank you, Rossonero, for 40 gifted memberships. He's done it again.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Been day drinking. Really.
So it needs to be close to a nat 20, this, because it's 40 gifted.
I hope, Rossonero, next time you go to McDonald's late at night, right, I hope you order it at the little thing, and when you go to pay, they're like, oh, my till's gone down, but it's busy, so they just send you through and give you the food for free.
Well, that's quite a nice wish, that, mate. It's quite strong.
Basically free McDonald's. Wouldn't that be exciting?
I mean, yeah, but it is McDonald's.
Or you order a takeaway and they send you extra for free by accident. So like, say for instance, you order a Domino's and it just comes with free cookies.
I had Chinese yesterday.
What?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Oh, I'd kill for a Chinese. I love Chinese. Yeah.
I was going to say we could order it after this, but...
I'd kill a man for Chinese.
Would you?
Yeah.
Should we treat Joe to a Chinese?
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll have a look at what the super chat total was like at the end of the stream and then decide.
I know. Thank you, Sam Deacon. Says Joe, as previously mentioned by yourself, what is your current stance on the Blood Angels Death Company captain? I'm now leaning towards them.
From a rules perspective or from a narrative perspective? Sam?
From a
That's
narrative
important.
perspective,
They can get in the bin.
I hate them with a passion. They do not and should not exist.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah, from a rules perspective.
From a narrative perspective.
Yeah, but from a rules perspective?
From a rules perspective, the Death Company captain with a jump pack can get in the bin. He's useless.
Is he? Why?
He's useless. He's got no... so he gives your unit sustained hits 1.
Okay. That doesn't sound useless immediately.
But his other benefits...
He gives the unit sustained hits 1 in a unit that rerolls all hits because they're Death Company.
Yeah. But they can't do a strat for free. And when he dies, he does his mortal wounds.
So you spend 1 CP to give them lance and lethal hits because they're Death Company anyway, and then you can reroll all hits because you're Death Company, and you're fishing for 6s because you get sustained and lethal, and then you get lance for plus. Like, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah, but in an army where you've got Lemartes and Astarath and chaplains.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Like it goes the 2 name characters, jump cap, or all other chaplains, Death Company captain with a jump pack.
For reference as well, I'm 100% with you narratively.
Yeah.
It shouldn't exist.
I actually think the Death Company captain on foot is okay.
Again, from a rules perspective.
From a rules perspective.
Yeah, we need to be very, very specific about this.
Because he gives the unit scout.
Okay, that's
So
all
he
right.
gives your unit of 5 or 10 guys scout. So he can get your on-foot Death Company in the way. Like if you go first against another army that can scout, they can be quite bothersome.
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 What a word.
But when you start 18 inches away from each other in some deployments, he goes, cool, scout 6 inches, move 6 inches, I'm 6 inches away from you now.
Okay.
You know, I think he's all right. I think he's good.
But you don't love him.
I don't love them because jump chaplains are just better.
Okay.
Because they give your unit +1 to wound all the time, and they also give your unit an OC. Captains don't give you OC.
An Orange County.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So yeah, I think they are usable. They are models that exist that you can put into your army and into your units. And I might do that in the future, but
He doesn't sound sold, does he, Jack?
I'm not. No, I feel dirty, you know. Thank you, Ginger Steve. Says, so you could put the heating on and Joe can take off the hat.
Yeah, I'll put
Or you could take that silly hat off.
The heating arguably was on because it was on 22 degrees on the aircon, but,
but
sometimes I think it's just blowing the fucking air in.
22 degrees on cold aircon isn't 22 actual degrees, though, is it? It's just like
I don't know, mate. I've found
the speed of the wind.
Lately, I've found that you just find a reason to moan no matter what's happening. So
yeah,
I just let you get on with it.
Yeah, I will moan. Thank you, John McGarlow, for 20 gifted memberships.
John, love you.
I hope, John, you, after you do your taxes at the end of the year, they give you a massive refund because they've overcharged you.
Strong.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you donate it to charity.
Strong.
The Dempsey charity.
Strong.
Thank you, Skippy the Magnificent, for 5 gifted memberships. I hope, Skippy the Magnificent, that you never get cholera.
Never get what?
Cholera.
He said.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. That's a nice wish, I guess. Don't get cholera. Yeah.
You get everyone mosquitoes, don't you? Cholera.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm unaware. It's very quiet in here when the aircon's off. Have you noticed?
I know. It's nice.
Weird, isn't it? I think it's weird because we're used to having it on. Not that I'm going to complain about it being slightly cheaper this month with the aircon off all the time.
Thank you, Rolfus. It says, good to see MS Paints on the channel.
MS Paints.
Microsoft Paints on the channel.
Yeah, that's what I would have assumed. It doesn't really make sense.
I've not actually picked them up, though, because we've got to hold a book.
He's Australian, though, so he might not make any sense.
Yeah. Miniature scale paints.
Mouldy
Seaman.
sausage paints.
Yeah.
Mouldy sausage paints. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Massive Snickers.
Multiple sclerosis.
Potentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks anyway, dude.
Thank you. Thank you, Jill. She says, I love how cozy Joe looks. Big fan. Feeling much more positive about my bangles. I'll have to come back and re-watch the stream while taking notes. # Joe Academy.
Joe Academy. I think if you bought the Blood Angels box and you haven't already fallen down the trap of being negative about it because everyone else has told you that the models aren't detailed enough, you're going to be happy with your purchase.
I think if you like Blood Angels and you own the Blood Angels army, I think this box set is just an automatic buy. There's no downside to buying this box set, right? Because you get quite possibly the most beautiful Codex Games Workshop has ever released in the history of all time.
Stunning book.
It is so well put together. The artwork in it is incredible. So you've got the best Codex Games Workshop's ever done, right? Their rules are incredible. You get the 2 new character sculpts, which is great. You get 4 upgrade sprues in that box set. So if you don't collect Blood Angels now, you get all the upgrades for the models in the box, plus upgrades for all the models you're going to buy.
Yeah.
You get 10 Assault Intercessors on foot. You get 10 Assault Intercessors with jump packs. You don't have to make them Death Company.
Ones that can't hear.
They're optional, but you don't have to. You can use the ones on foot as just normal Red Space Marines on foot.
I'll put it this way, Jill, as well, right? I haven't owned a Blood Angels army since 7th edition. 7th edition was the last time I owned a Blood Angels army and I sold it all, right? I have, since 7th edition, painted 2 Blood Angels miniatures since 7th edition. One of them was just a generic Gravis Captain that I kit bashed with a shield and a hammer back when fucking Smash Captains were a thing, right? I have bought the box myself.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a Blood Angels army for the last 9 years or so.
Right.
That's how good I think the box is.
I think if you start in Blood Angels, this one, 2 combat patrols, you're flying.
100%, I agree.
Yeah, you just pick up all the special characters, and then you just pick up
all usable in your army and actually makes a saving.
I'd even argue you buy this one twice.
This is what John's just said as well. If only the models match the artwork.
Don't.
Lol.
Don't. If you look at the wings on Astaroth and you look at the wings on the Sanguinor, they look great. Best wings in the game.
Astrath's wings are beautiful.
Yeah. And then you look at the artwork with the big flappy wings, you're like, oh, pretty. And then Games Workshop were like, no. Wings are stupid.
Stop being negative, Nelly. The
I'm not being negative. The models are nice, right? And with a little bit of work, you can make them nicer.
And without any work, from a beginner's perspective, they're probably less daunting.
Yeah. Thank you, Kazarian says, if only the points get released via QR code and are never published in the book. But now that's just impossible. What game system would do that?
Yeah.
I know. It's a bit silly. What?
I feel like part of the problem is their inability to kind of make a giant sort of change midway through. I would be inclined. I don't know how far ahead their printing process actually is, if I'm honest with you. So pinch of salt with this. If I was GW, I'd be inclined to go. Actually, what AOS is doing is just flat better. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop putting points in the book from now. So let's say the next book to be printed is. Let's say the next book out is Eldar, then Guard, and then the third one was what? Knights. So let's say Knights hasn't yet gone to print. But right, just stop putting points in for Knights. So and just say, hey, we've seen what AOS are doing. We like it. We're changing it.
What I want Games Workshop to do, right? So currently you get a big fancy box set release with a Codex. You wait a month or a couple of weeks, and then they release the other models and the Codex, right?
Okay, yeah.
But it means that if you buy the fancy box set, you've got all the new rules, you've got the wrong points, and you can't use those new rules at any event until that new Codex comes out a month down the line.
Well, this is a practice I've never fully understood.
Right, it doesn't make sense to me. What you do is you release the big fancy box set and the Codex on its own. Right, and then you have the new models a month down the line. Right? Because if you release the normal Codex, it means that the people that don't want to buy the big fancy box set, but want the Codex, can buy the cheap normal version, right? And then it means that once that box set is released, everyone is using the same book and the same rules and the same points. And then when a month down the line, when they release the new stuff, that's when you release the other limited edition book.
How dare you apply any kind of logic? What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Jay?
I just want to be able to play the fucking game.
It's almost like instead of creating false scarcity by releasing a limited edition box that no one else can get a hand of a Codex, it's almost like instead of creating false scarcity, just create a desirable product.
Yeah.
Just do a better job.
I'm going to a tournament on Sunday, and I have to use, despite the fact that I've had the book for a while and everyone else has the book, I can't use the book.
Well, to be honest with you, not everyone else has the book. Everyone else would have had the book for a day at that point because you're going to tournament on Sunday. The book isn't actually out yet until to the general public till Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, Saturday. 2-week pre-order, isn't it nowadays?
Oh.
Everything's 2-week pre-order. I actually kind of like a 2-week pre-order.
I don't mind a 2-week pre-order, but 2 weeks is a long time, isn't it?
In Joe's world, maybe.
It's a really long time.
So yeah, so for this weekend, it's actually largely irrelevant, only because it would have been out for a day. But I'd still take your point. If you were going in 2 weeks' time, I'd take your point.
Yeah, you know when you watch these programs, like as an immortal, like a year is a blink of an eye, you know. But the thing is, though, that doesn't make sense until you've lived like over 100 years. Because currently 2 weeks lasts bloody ages.
I don't think so. I think time's flying too far. When the calendar changed the day to September, I was like, where the fuck is this year going?
Soon be pumpkin spice time.
Such a hipster, Jay.
It'll be... September to December is my favourite time of the year.
Is it?
It's just perfect.
I like the build up to Christmas, but I'm a Christmas baby, right? So
well, technically October to December is the best period because that's when we're like, it's like the festival of light and chocolate.
How's it the festival of light when the sun's gone?
Because it's you get all the fancy lights, you have the fireworks and the Halloween and the little lights.
Do you like Halloween? I hate Halloween.
I love Halloween. I love it. I like the dream that was Halloween.
That's different though, isn't it?
I love 16th to 18th century American Halloween. You know, when everyone was dying of the plague and it was shit, but everything was real spooky. You know, the ones they sell in like Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
You know.
You miss the Halloween, which is people actually dressed up in costumes and all that stuff, rather than just teenagers knocking your door and egg in your house when you look
and then like 90s Halloween, before everyone was afraid that their children were going to get
fingered,
stabbed and fed razor blades and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, right, people in England, I don't know if it's what it's like in America, people have curtains open, lights on, very obvious that they're home. It's Halloween night, kids knocking on the door, and like everyone's like strapped to the sofa. Like, don't even move, don't even look at the window, don't even acknowledge the fact that sound has been made.
We go into our living room, which is the back of the house. We turn off all the lights at the front of the house and go, "Don't come to my fucking house."
Yeah, just hide. Everyone just hides from the children, and then.
But I've never...
And then what happens is like you'll be walking around, you'll be really, really like, ugh, in your house, and then some old person will answer the door, forgetting that it's Halloween, and be like, "I've got a banana. Here's 5 pence."
Laced with razor blades.
Yeah, it's a banana filled with C4.
Yeah.
Just don't eat it now.
When you started with C, I'm glad you ended with 4.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Halloween. Like what happens now, I find, is that people have like Halloween parties.
Do they?
Yeah, they're like all the kids will get together and have a Halloween party because it's safe in our little environment and we can't leave the house.
Is that a thing? Never heard of it. We don't do Halloween. I don't like Halloween.
I love Halloween. I
like it's just fucking, in my area at least, it was just fucking like young teenagers not dressed up begging. And then when you go fucking poke it up your ass, they then throw things at your house and have to chase them down the street.
It's great, isn't it? Throw a brick at them.
Exactly.
Little scroats.
Or a few.
Yeah. I think it's really good. I think as I grew up in like little country villages, so everyone knew everyone, so it was fine. But once I moved to towns as an adult, it got less good. Let's be honest though, the only time it's good to enjoy Halloween is when you're between 16 and 22 going out on the piss.
I have,
getting dressed up. That is the best Halloween.
Because obviously, when I used to do that, at least when we were younger in local Southampton, the most Halloween costume you could see out there in the town was a slutty cat. It was quite often. Yeah.
Halloween.
Sexy although I did see someone in chat the other day say this, and I now want to try it. I would very much like to chocolate or toffee up an onion.
Yeah.
Have a toffee apple. Lol.
Yeah. We're gonna have a Halloween game potentially with Peachy. Now I've said it, I'm just gonna banter him.
Well, you say that you want to do a Halloween game with Peachy. I said I'd rather do Lego Legion.
Yeah, but that's not Halloween, is it?
I couldn't give a fuck, Joe.
We could do Halloween Legion. You could film Halloween Legion during the day, and then
it's not Halloween Legion. It's Lego Legion. And Lego's more important.
Lego Halloween Legion. It's Halloween Day, right? I will not be stopped. You have.
I mean, you will be.
You have disallowed me Halloween joy.
You will
for
be stopped.
2 years.
The bonus about being in charge is you can be stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bonus of being an obnoxious child means that I will not be stopped. Because I will find a way. Right? I'm an adult and I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
That's not how that works.
It is. Because I'll be like, I'm on the internet now. The cameras are rolling. I cannot be stopped.
You can be stopped.
What happens from here?
Yeah, you can be stopped.
I could say whatever I want right now.
You can absolutely be stopped. I just won't schedule you on.
You could right, a few words could come out of my mouth and you couldn't stop me. Do whatever I want. I could kill this channel in a second.
You don't kill the channel, you get yourself sacked. That's what you do.
No. I'm saving that for when I'm done, when I've had enough, or if I'm on like another channel.
Who you don't like very much.
Yeah. I was like today's lesson, and then stop. What were we talking about? Yeah. Halloween's great. I fucking love Halloween. Right, Starius. I may have accidentally billed 5,000 points of Blood Angels in the last week.
Jesus Christ.
Right, Starius.
That's a lot of Blood Angels, mate.
I don't want to say that you're lying, right?
Oh, I fully believe him.
But you don't accidentally do that. You just do it. You had the intention of building. Don't pretend that it was an accident. Like you just fell on the floor and then models just constructed themselves around you.
I do fully believe he's built that much. I've seen how fast
I fully
he builds
believe
stuff.
that he built that 5,000 points, but it was an accident.
No, yeah. Fair. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you're like, if you said, like, I accidentally broke 5,000 points of Necron, of Blood Angels, I'd be like, yeah, I could believe that, yeah.
Yeah.
Dropped it on the floor, threw it out of a window, ran it over with a bus. Sam Deacon. We'll go back onto the Blood Angel bit in a minute.
Yeah, we kind of have to.
Narrative doesn't make sense, but I re-listened to Devastation to Baal, and the chapter master of the Knights of Blood knew he succumbed to the rage and just yeeted into Kabanda. Yeah, so, but the thing is though, the leader of the Knights of Blood knew that he's like, I'm gonna let myself go.
But he succumbed to the rage during battle, though.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
he didn't start the battle as a Death Company captain.
he did go, like, Gabriel's dead, do me a favour, just dip me in this big pot of black.
Yeah. Yeah.
And send
So he would have gone in red armour.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He would have gone in, right? And guess what? And he knew he was going to go and die. He ain't leading shit. He's not going over there, let's go kill
He
that.
ain't leading shit.
Yeah, he ain't go like, there's a horror-shaped Land Raider over there, let's go kill that. He's just like, murder, 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 murder. No words, screaming, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so the narrative is still nonsense.
Yeah.
Because he would have been in red armour.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you... I don't know. I feel like if you took a Death Company captain and painted it red, I'd be more okay with it, narratively.
Yeah, I think if you had a captain in a unit of Death Company and he was red, it would be more acceptable.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, because the chaplain's gone, just shoved him in that direction. He's like, you go with those people now.
Yeah, you're now with them because you've fallen. But you're still in red because you came here in red. Yeah, I guess I'd paint Death Company captains in red.
Or you just paint captains red and then use them in Death Company sometimes.
Well, that's when you need to be able to differentiate somehow, wouldn't you?
Maybe
Versus
like
your opponent.
maybe chaplains have got one of those giant rubber stamps,
I'm very keen.
and they just walk up to the captain and go, punk, punk.
I am very
Death Company now.
Yeah, I'm very keen on differentiating so your opponent knows what's what.
Well, he's in the unit of the black loopy people.
Yeah, yeah, obviously, but that's fine until the Black Loop people were dead and he's running around on his own. Like,
Yeah, but captains can't do stratagems for free when they're on their own. So
that's still okay.
he loses. The only difference is when he dies, he explodes. He's like Spider-Man.
Yeah. So I was building Quins yesterday, and like I'm specifically using certain models. So the Quinn set comes in a box of 6, right? And you can build 6 harlequins.
Elect man, don't bring logic into this.
You can bring 6 harlequins, or you can build 1 troop master and 5 harlequins, right? So I have tried to use the big fancy jackets for my troop masters, and then all my player units are not going to have the big fancy jackets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a way where I can be like, that's definitely a troop master because he's got the big fancy jacket on. Yeah. Make sense? Then my lead players have got the smaller jackets, and then the other 4 players have got no jackets.
Yeah.
And so that's how I'm going to differentiate what's what. War gear wise, the lead player and the troop master carry the same war gear.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm doing it, because I really want to make sure that my opponent is like, what's that? I'm like, well, you can see that that's a troop master, a lead player, and say 4 harlequins.
Thank you, John McCardle.
What's he done?
He sent us an orange message.
An orange one?
An orange one.
Oh, wow.
It says, get Joe a Chinese takeaway. Thank you, John.
No, he's just throwing a temper tantrum about fucking about Halloween, so tough.
Thank you, John. I love you. You get yourself a Chinese meal as well.
Yeah.
A succulent Chinese meal.
That's become too much of a meme. It's all Kai's fault.
No, it's the internet's fault.
No, I know, but it's become more relevant on this channel because they're suggesting that that's what you get for $6.5 grand in Warminster as a succulent Chinese meal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you with me now? That's what I'm saying.
There's one really good Chinese restaurant takeaway in Warminster and one terrible one.
Is there?
Right, and they're literally across the road from each other.
So it's gamble.
Yeah. And like, what's annoying is that like the terrible one in Warminster is open on Mondays and the good one isn't. So if you go, oh, I might have a Chinese today. Go get the fancy one from like, I think it's called King Wok. Off we go. And you're like, oh shit, it's closed. It's Monday. And then, but in your head, you're like, I'm having a Chinese meal now.
Yeah, I've already decided.
Once that's in there, that's not going away. So then you're like, oh, walk across to the other one.
The one that we order from is open 7 days a week.
24/7?
No. Opens at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Thank you, Alec Man. He says, I usually don't care about the battle tome in army boxes. They're riddled with FAQ questions, but I buy them for the models. They're cheaper than MSRP. Well, yeah, it's a great way of getting cheap models. Like, but things like...
Also, the battle tome or Codex in the box set for 40k specifically is always exactly the same as the one that comes out.
What bugs me is the Games Workshop's weird decision to have boxes come out with new armies that have the Codex in, and then boxes that come out with the new armies that don't have the Codex in. It really annoys me.
You what?
When the Sisters Codex came out, no Codex in that box. When the Chaos came out, no Codex in the box.
And Blood Angels has a Codex in the box.
Blood Angels did. Tau did.
Yeah, it's actually quite inconsistent, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the Chaos and the Sisters Codexes had limited edition codexes, which were really, 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 really pretty, but they sold out really, 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 really quickly.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't think of that.
Whereas the Blood Angels one has a fancy codex, but because it comes in a box set, it's easier to get hold of the codex because the second-hand market. Because there's so many out there in the wild.
Well, also, there are people that don't want to spend that money on that box because they're like, they already have all the Death Company they want, and they don't really want the characters or whatever.
Yeah.
So people are probably less inclined to spend 125 quid or whatever it is for that box. I don't know what it costs because I buy it from Element. People are less inclined to spend that money for that box to get that codex. But then they never release that limited edition codex on its own afterwards.
No, so there might be another limited edition codex for Blood Angels that might look. I don't think it could look better. It'll be whatever. It'll be whatever the generic Blood Angels codex cover is, but that weird black.
Yeah,
that they do.
That's too pretty. They won't beat that one.
No.
You've done really well with your painting today.
I know.
We also have 15 minutes for the.
Well, what I'll do is once the stream ends, I'll do a solid rim job and be done.
Yeah.
And then I'll paint some models.
You don't need to edge. You don't need to edge them for. No matter what you do, you're not getting your fucking Halloween stream. You don't have to edge them for stream.
What do you mean I'm not getting a Halloween stream?
Well, no matter how hard you rim job.
I'm gonna get Halloween. I will make it live on stream. I'll push the button and then stuff will just fall out of the ceiling. It's Halloween!
I don't think there's anyone in the chat or the universe that's ever watched this channel that believes that you'd be capable of rigging something up where you press a button and something happens.
No, it'll be a... the button will be a broomstick.
Yeah, just poke the fucking
and then I just poke holes in the ceiling. Yeah. Okay. Science will not be required.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't do the Death Company in 2 days. Basically, I did it in a day. Well, most of a day, because like a couple of hours. Because I built the bodies on Tuesday during the stream, and then yesterday I went through all the Death Company that I'd been sent very kindly, and then pulled a lot of them apart so I could put arms and shoulder pads in them. And then I realised I didn't have the mono jump packs, so then I had to build the fucking jump packs, and then I airbrushed them and did all the silvers and golds and stuff and the red.
They're basically block coloured, aren't they?
Yeah, what I need to do is do all the edging. I
love edging.
I've got Griffhound Orange, by the way, which is a great way of making like weathered black armour. So you water it down, and then you line recess wash like in between the armor plates.
It does look
so. It looks like it's like dirt's gathered and oil's gathered up.
So I don't like it, but it does look good.
Why don't you like it?
I like really clean. I think that's one of the reasons why I get drawn to like
Death Company. They literally live in murder.
Right, no, right. If you can ask me a question, let me finish.
No.
I think the reason why I like High Elves and Eldar so much is I like the clean aesthetic. I don't like the weathered look. I don't like the weathered look, but it does look good as a weathered look, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Right? So I don't want you to go, I think it looks shit. I don't think it looks shit. I just don't like the look.
If they've survived a battle, are you going to be the one that's going to try and get close enough to clean them?
Or wouldn't they just be dead then? Wouldn't the chaplains just kill them off? Astraf just
well, it depends. Sometimes they keep hold of them.
No.
Yeah. There's a great mini book where there's a space Hulk that's full of Tyranids. So Seth and his command squad go and find their way into the middle of the Space Hulk where the Brood Lord is and all of his friends. And then he basically drops a teleport homer, well, a beacon, and then he's got a ship just filled with Death Company, and he just fires drop pods full of Death Company into the Space Hulk.
Cool.
Right? And it just floods the thing, floods that area with Death Company. It's great, so good. But then you got to go and catch them all in a big butterfly net.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Death Company detachment.
We're 5, by the way, chat, we're 5 gifted members away from target.
Ooh.
I know, yeah. It's mad, isn't it? 5 gifted members away from target is incredible. And we can still take some more super chat questions as well. Go for it. Definitely.
Right.
So I agree with you that the last attachment is the best attachment in the book. And I think I would probably, now you've read all the stratagems out, probably agree it's probably one of the best ones in the game. I actually love this detachment.
This detachment is narrative detachments done right.
Yes. I love this detachment.
There's only like 2 other detachments in the game that I actually think are true positively narrative detachments. One is the Vanguard Tyrannid detachment.
The Vanguard Invader?
The Vanguard Invader one. And then there's the Orc press button do things.
Yeah, the mech one.
The mech one where it's like, does more things if I inject more fuel into it. Like everything's got NOS in it. I think this is like a truly narrative detachment and I'm here for it. So it's a noble death in combat is the name of it. Each time a Death Company model, so specifically Death Company model, from your army makes a melee attack, re-roll the wound roll if that model's unit is below its starting strength. And then if that model's unit is below half strength, you can re-roll the wound roll instead. The gamey dickhead in me wishes it was re-roll wound roll of 1 flat, and then re-roll wounds if you've lost models. But we're talking about every unit in your army that already re-rolls all hits all the time anyway.
I think it's very
that would be
good.
too powerful.
Here's the other thing as well, right? Here's a fun fact for you that I'd like to throw out there at the moment as well, whilst we're starting reading out this detachment. We said to you at the start, if you buy this book to be able to run it, you need the Space Marine Codex, right? You don't if you run this detachment.
If you run this detachment, you don't need the Space Marine Codex.
The reason being is because if you run this detachment, Oath of Moment is useless to you if you just take Death Company, and the reason why it's useless to you is Death Company already reroll all hits. So you don't get Oath of Moment. So actually, if you just take Death Company units, and you've got Death Company intercessors on foot with bolt guns, Death Company intercessors on foot with melee weapons, Death Company intercessors with jump packs, and then you've got Death Company captains and Death Company dreadnoughts, right? And you've got Blood Angel chaplains, or are they just the Codex?
The chaplain with a jump pack is in the Space Marine
That's
Codex.
a shame. But it's conceivable that it might not be as impactful or as effective, but you could run a full army just
Ironically,
as
the
book.
chaplain with a jump pack is only available in Blood Angel form.
Is he?
No one else has access to a generic chaplain with a jump pack.
Oh, okay.
Super weird. But, so what you do is you buy this box set 3 times, sell off the 4 extra characters and the 2 codexes, then use that money to buy chaplains with jump packs, Space Marine captains.
Or if you're feeling brave, you could use Astrath and Lamartis to make Death Company captains with jump packs.
Yeah.
You'd take some kit bashing, but you could do it.
Yeah.
Swap his Crozius out for a melee weapon of some sort.
Give Lamartes a normal backpack and have him as a chaplain on foot.
Yeah.
You know, it's conceivable that this whole
swap
army.
Astrath's axe for an eviscerator, so he's got like a chainsaw.
Yeah, this conceivable that you don't really need the Space Marine Codex to play this detachment. Yeah. And then the other one is keywords. It says if you select this detachment, Death Company Marines, which is the ones with bolt pistol chainsword, and Death Company Marines with bolt rifles, units from your army have the battle line keyword, which is important for secondaries in Pariah Nexus because there are things that affect units that are battle lines, so like advance and directions, fallback and directions. But it also means you could take 6 of each unit.
But the advance and directions and the fallback and directions are also relevant because you would then need chaplains. Because you can't do actions if you're AC 0.
Yeah.
And they're AC 0 without a chaplain. Cool.
And there, I'll come to your question in a minute, Alec Man. So the enhancements and attachments, so they're all Death Company model only. So Death Company... Interesting. Actually.
That's not a noise I like to hear live on air, Joe. His brain's going now. That's why he just froze on stream.
Does that mean that you can't put... So
What you said?
chaplains don't have the Death Company keyword. So you can't give any of these enhancements to a chaplain with a jump pack or a chaplain on foot.
So you have to have this.
You'd have to give the only people that the only people that can take the enhancements from this detachment are Death Company captains, which will forever be Death Company sergeants or Death Company slightly angrier man. So Sanguinius' Grace, Death Company model, once per battle, at the end of the fight phase, if this bearer is within engagement range of 3 or more enemy models, the bearer can fight 1 additional time. So the captain can fight twice. But he has to be surrounded by people.
I remember in World Eaters used to have that.
It's a great rule. Death Company captains do have a lot of attacks. So having them fight twice, it's good. Although it's just him.
Just the one guy.
Just
actually.
him. His unit cannot fight. It's just him. So he's just a bit cray-cray.
In a good way.
But if it's the Death Company captain with jump pack, if he fights again and he's still got a unit, he still gets the sustained hits.
Just to get stained hits.
Yeah. The blood shard, you don't want that. That sounds like a horrible medical problem, doesn't it? The first time the bearer is destroyed at the end of the phase, roll 1d6 and on a 2+, set the bearer back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where he was destroyed and not within engagement range of any other models, with 3 wounds remaining, which is a fun little enhancement because Death Company captains, when they die, do mortal wounds onto enemy units around them. So he could be killed, do a bunch of mortal wounds, and then come back. It's not a bad one. It's all right. Having characters live for longer is also great. To slay the War Master once per battle at the start of the fight phase. If the bearer is within engagement range of 1 or more enemy character units, you can select one of those character units and roll 6d6 of each 4+. 1 character model in that unit suffers a mortal wound. It's like a little bomb. He's like, eat grenade. It'd be quite good for like someone like a high wound model, like Magnus, Mortarion, someone that's probably going to kill him. So he runs in, he's like, mortal wounds, and then he fights, and then whoever he's fighting murders him, so he explodes, he does more mortal wounds, and then comes back to life.
Okay.
That's not bad. And then Vengeful Onslaught. If the bearer is destroyed until the end of the next turn, each time a friendly Death Company model makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll.
Yeah.
So it means that your Death Company stuff attacking that unit hit on 2s. Very situational. But what you could do is just give it to a captain on his own.
Oh, captain, your captain?
And just torpedo him in the hope that he dies. And then be like, cool, we're going to go fight then now. That's what we're going to do. But your opponent can play around it. They're not spectacular. I think the fight twice one is the best one.
Yeah.
And then you have the get back up when he dies is all right. And then the stratagems. You've got a glorious sacrifice. Any phase. 1 Death Company unit from your army that was destroyed whilst it's within range of an objective marker. You can use a stratagem. That objective marker remains under your control, even if you have no models. Basically, when they die, they make it sticky.
Sticky objectives, yeah. Always good.
Always great.
Just remember you've got sticky objectives.
Yeah.
Not like us on fucking...
But those Death Company would need to have had a chaplain nearby to actually mean that they held it in the first place.
You would have to have a chaplain.
Because if they've got no chaplain and they're 0 OC and they don't hold it, if they die on it, they can't continue to hold it if they don't hold it.
Words.
Armor Contempt is Armor Contempt. The Final Retribution.
Armor of Contempt, by the way, is there's a lot of it about in different shapes or forms. It's still a solid stratagem.
That's so good.
It's still a
If
solid
someone rolls
stratagem.
into you with -1 AP, you're like...
Yeah, it's still really like
Yeah.
I think often people what's the word I'm looking for? Underappreciate it.
Yeah.
It's really solid. So
The Final Retribution The fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, one Death Company unit from your army that has target one or more attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if that model has not fought this phase, roll a d6, adding 1 to the result if your unit is within 12 inches of a chaplain. On a 4+, or a 3+, if they're within 12 of a chaplain, that destroyed model can fight after the attacking unit has finished making it. So the fight and death has moved from the other detachment to here. But
yeah, it's
harder to go off.
You've got your fight and death back,
Yeah.
but it's gone from 2 CP to 1 CP, but you also have to...
You have to roll for it.
roll for it.
Honestly, like, 2 CP or 1 CP if there's a captain around to fight on death guaranteed is obnoxious as shit. I played Blood Angels.
Yeah, it was a bit much, wasn't it?
And the person I played this morning hates it every time.
I think everyone you've played with it hates it, Jay.
Yeah.
2 CP, even at 2 CP, 2 CP fight and death is too good. It's too good. That's why it's changed.
Yeah.
And if you think otherwise...
Because it's guaranteed, you know exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. And then a furious onslaught compared to an aggressive one. Fight phase that just made the Deathcrow user made a pile-in. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a pile-in move, it can move up to D3 plus 3 instead of 3. If your unit is within 12 inches of a chaplain, it just becomes straight 6. In either case, you can only do so provided your unit ends that pile-in move in unit coherency and within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. That's well good.
I get excited about what I'm working on.
Yeah? Goblins.
I'll show the back of it, not the front of it, because the front of it's got a word on it that I don't care about, and that word is kill team.
Oh, not Kane?
I'm only building them for 40k at the moment.
Blades.
I did start off by building the Vizark, who, by the way, is a stunning model now he's built.
I love the Vizark, but it's something I've talked about before. The Vizark and Abaddon has this problem. Everyone that converts him to make something else, it just looks like the Vizark with a different hat on.
Yeah. I mean, the model is such that it's quite difficult to do anything else with it.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. So being able to pile in an extra 3 inches is insane. Because it just means you could just charge in a 10-man unit Death Company and just touch everything. Just be like, I'm going to touch you, I'm going to touch you, I'm going to touch you.
All your dark places.
All your dark places. And then they'll just shove a massive chainsaw up there.
Yeah.
Lost to the rage. The fight phase. 1 Death Company unit from your army that is below starting strength and has not been selected to fight this turn until the end of the phase. Improve the attack's strength and armor penetration characters and melee weapons equipped by models in the unit by 1. Unless your unit is within 12 inches of 1 or more friendly chaplain models. Until the end of the phase, those weapons have the hazardous ability. So basically, if there's not a chaplain nearby, you could blow yourself up.
Yeah, but if you've got a chaplain in the unit and you put it on a set of jump intercessors, +1 attack, strength, and AP is mad.
So good.
It's mad
It's
good.
so good because those.
Remembering, by the way, that you've lost your +2 strength at this point because you're running the Death Company detachment. So it puts you up to strength 5, AP 2.
But this also includes characters that are attached to it as well.
It does, yeah.
So that means that Asterath goes up to 7 attacks, strength 8, -4.
Yeah. But obviously remember, because I saw a lot of people go nuts about this and be like, this is too good, this is too good. I'm like, yeah, but it's not on the blood, like, you're remembering that Blood Angels have +2 attacks, +1 attack, +2 strength, but they don't because it's a different detachment.
Yeah.
And someone was like, oh yeah, actually. So I think it's very good, I think it's incredibly good, but I don't think it's as mental as people perhaps think it is.
It's not crazy good, but like it means that if you want something dead, that Death Company unit is going to absolutely obliterate it.
Potentially.
Potentially.
You're still in strength 5, Jay. With that strat, aren't you?
Yeah.
If you've got a chaplain in the unit, you are strength 5 +1 a wound at that point.
Strength 5 +1 to wound is mega.
And strength 5 plus 1 a wound is flat better than strength 6.
Well, if you think Death Company Space Marines with jump packs can have 3 power fists and 2 eviscerators, so they go to the eviscerator goes to strength 8, the power fist goes to strength 9, you're +1 to wound, but they go from AP2 to AP3.
You're +1 to wound if you have a chaplain in the unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be strength 8 and 9 respectively with +1 to wound, AP3.
There's still quite a point sink there. With
The eviscerator, the eviscerator goes from 3 attacks to 4 attacks, and the power fist goes from 3 attacks to 4 attacks. But the eviscerator then goes from sustained hits, gets sustained hits as well.
So again, people are still forgetting, like, because all you're getting really compared to the detachment is +1 AP. Because the other detachment, you charge, you get +1 attack, +2 strength. This one gives you +1 attack, +1 strength for a CP.
Yeah, but Yeah, but this stratagem in itself is really, really good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
In any other book, is really, really good. In a book that doesn't contain the Liberator Assault Force, that's an incredible stratagem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you get it.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I will say is if you've taken a wound or taken a casualty, you gain some attacks back by playing the stratagem, and you're now at this point rerolling wound rolls of 1. So the chaplain in the unit, you're getting +1 strength, +1 attack, +1 AP, +1 to wound, and reroll a single wound roll. No, reroll wound rolls of 1.
Yeah.
Right? That becomes quite an efficient unit. There's a heavy point sink, remembering you need the chaplain in the unit, and it's fucking Death Company.
You can have the chaplains anyway, though.
I think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I'm not saying it's a bad stratagem, but I've seen a couple of people lose their mind over it. I'm like, yeah, it's good. Liberator Assault Force gives that to your whole army. Whole army.
Yeah.
Not just one unit for 1 CP.
And then Raffle Rampage.
Rafflecopter.
Yeah. Your movement phase after Death Company unit from army advances, that Death Company unit, until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to declare a charge in... Sorry, my words are falling into pieces.
Advance and charge.
Advance a charge, but if there's a chaplain nearby, you can shoot as well.
Yeah, for 1 CP.
For 1 CP.
Really good.
So good. Really, really good. It is an incredible narrative detachment.
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's less busted than the last one, and therefore, for a fun player who loves the idea of Death Company lunatics charging across the battlefield, it's probably a better detachment for that regard. In terms of strength, I agree with you. The Liberator Assault Force is still better. It's still the strongest attachment. And what makes it the strongest attachment isn't just the +2 strength for the +1 attack. It's the fucking stratagems, which are mad good. But I think this one has a lot of play.
It has a lot of play, but I have a problem with it. Right. And the problem is, you can run all the exact same models that you run in this detachment in the Liberator Assault group, and it's just better.
Is it? Would you suggest that Death Company are better in Liberator Assault group than they are in the Death Company detachment? When in the Death Company detachment, you can get to reroll 1s to wound, reroll all wounds, and you still get access to things like advance and charge. It's an edge case unit. It's the only one that I'm saying is probably better.
Yeah, it's better in the Liberator Assault Force.
Is it?
Because your enhancements aren't limited to only captains, so you can put them on the chaplains in the army.
Yep.
If you want to. You get advance to charge in the Death Company detachment, but you get fallback and charge in the Liberator Assault Force.
Fair.
Right? On a unit that re-rolls all hits and wounds and is OC 0 anyway, so you don't care if it becomes battle shocked.
How does it re-roll wounds?
No, re-rolls all hits.
Okay.
So re-rolls all hits.
So it's the wounds question I'm getting in. So you lose...
But you lose re-roll 1s to wound if you've lost a model, but you re-roll all hits. So you just pay 1 CP and give the unit lethal hits.
Okay.
Right, so
that's still 6s.
It's still 6s, but you're re-rolling everything, right? And then Savage Echoes, if you get charged, so if you're a Death Company player that's been charged, you can give yourself +1 and attack, +1 strength and attack. You don't get the +1 AP, but you still have the exact same stratagem without the worry of having...
Yeah, no, I don't mean to think that Liberator Assault Force is bad. I think maybe a misunderstanding.
And the thing is, though, if your Death Company is strength 4 right? +1 to wound re-rolling ones versus a toughness 3 unit, right? You're wounding on 3s. Okay, bad example. If you're attacking a unit that's toughness 4 and you are strength 4, you wound on 4s, you get +1 to wound if there's a chaplain, so you wound on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Liberator Assault Force, you get an extra attack. So you get 1 more attack. Your strength 6, so you wound that toughness 4 unit on 2s with a chaplain. You don't get the reroll 1s, but you got more attacks. It's just flat better.
Okay.
Right, if you go...
I think there are edge cases where they'll be better.
If you go into vehicles, the Liberator Assault Force is still better. I think like if someone's going, if you're a narrative player and you go, I've got a Death Company army, I'm going to run the Death Company detachment. You go, cool, but like, good, you're doing the best thing. It depends on. This is entirely based on whether you're playing a narrative army or you just want to be a bit of a dick. Essentially, it's the only difference. But it's just yeah. So it's an odd one because I think the Lost Brethren detachment is good in any army that doesn't have the Liberator Assault Force.
Okay.
Because if the Liberator Assault Force was just +1 strength, +1 attack, then I think the Death Company detachment is better.
Mr. the Crumpets Panda, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That hit our target.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Crumpets. I hope Warburton's releases a panda-shaped crumpet. Specifically for you.
Just for you, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm fine with that.
And then, obviously, thank you, Elect Man says, legit question for you both. What makes a Death Company captain bad while the Lord Terminus is amazing lore? I hate comparing Stormcast Eternals to Space Marines, but the Ruination Chamber is easily comparable to the Death Company.
Because the Lord Terminus isn't a captain like a Death Company captain. The Lord Terminus is like Astrath, the chaplain.
Yeah, he's
So Lord Terminus is essentially a reclusiarchy with an axe that when they go a bit too mental cuts their heads off, which is what Astrath is.
Yeah.
So in terms of narrative comparison, there's your
chaplain.
comparison. A captain in Space Marines, they don't deploy as Death Company captains. You become Death Company when you fall into the Black Rage. And when you fall into the Black Rage, you do not reverse that process. You have fallen into the Black Rage. At the end of battle, if you're a little bit mental, they'll just lock you up. But you're not a captain at that point. You're just a Death Company Marine.
You are exactly the same as all other Death Company.
Yeah.
Everything that you lack at is Horus.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And you're not making tactical decisions at that point. Whereas
like Brom.
The Lord Terminus is quite literally a chaplain. He's not fallen to... The chaplain's jobs are to kind of lead people in the right direction.
Yeah, he basically wind up the little back and go that way. Off you go.
They're like a shepherd. And then like Astarath's job, he's got an axe instead of the Rosarius because his job is literally to execute them. So he's just a chaplain, mate. And then Crumpets Panda has done his fun.
Thank you, like man. You're a hero for the $10. You're a legend. We're actually close to hitting super chat target as well.
And then
Joe.
the Angelic host.
So this was what I didn't actually know a lot about. We'll go through it quickly because we're 10 minutes over already, but we'll go through it as quickly as Joe can read.
Yeah, so it's good and different at the same time. So it's Pond Wings of Fire. At the end of your opponent's turn, you can select a number of Astartes jump pack units from your army, excluding units that are within engagement range of one or more enemy units. The maximum number of units you can select depends on the battle size.
We all play Strike Force.
So we'll play 2 units. So if it's less than 2,000 points, it's 1. If it's 2,000 points, it's 2. If it's more than 2,000 points, it's 3. Once you have made your selections, remove those units from the battlefield and place them in strategic reserves in the reinforcement step of your next movement phase. Set each of those units up using the Deep Strike ability. So you can't hold them in reserve. It's literally...
End of whose turn? Your turn or your opponent's turn?
Your opponent's turn.
Okay. So it's like what Grey Knights can do, but 2 units instead of 3.
It's like what Grey Knights can do. What's that Grey Knight army rule, though? Is that the Grey Knight army rule?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Grey Knights can do it with 3 units, though.
It's super situational.
No, I think it's incredible.
if you're for the mission, for playing the mission, it's really, really good, guaranteed uppy downy all the time.
Yeah, that's why I think it's incredible.
Right? It's incredible for the mission. The only problem is being too eager with it. Because there's so many times when I've played people and they're like, oh, this unit can uppy downy. Up I go. And then they come down and then they're telling, oh, I'll bring it down now. Oh, I'm 9 inches away. Oh, I'm further away now.
So it depends on. So yes.
Yeah.
So it depends entirely on how you want to play. Now you can pick behind enemy lines and deploy teleport homers and guarantee yourself max secondary points with 2 uppy downy units every single turn without fail, as long as your opponent hasn't got the capacity to completely screen out his backfield. Right?
Yeah.
You can definitely do that. Absolutely. So in that regard, it's good and it's strong. The problem I have with this detachment is exactly what you've just said. You can only do it if you're not in engagement range. So you're going to want to not be in engagement range to use your ability, and then you're going to drop them down 9 inches away with all your melee jump pack units.
Yeah, so you'd have to build. So clearly, because it's called the Angelic Host, because it's based around the premise of Sanguinary Guard, right?
Yeah.
Because the Angelic Host is based on everyone being golden armored and great. So you're going to take your 3 units of Sanguinary Guard, going uppy downy. You could do it with the Sanguinal, which is interesting. This is quite good. This is a very good detachment for the Sanguinal, actually, but it's not actually, because you have to come down in your next turn, so you're not holding him in reserve, so he can intervene. Forget what I said for that last 2 minutes. So basically, you're building your army to have 3 units of Inceptors.
You want gun jump infantry.
You want plasma Inceptors.
Yeah, if you want to play...
Maybe suppressors, because they're cheap.
Yeah, if you want to play gun-based flying marines, which no one really does, then this is probably okay.
It's not Blood Angels to me, though.
It's not... No, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you, mate. This is the... Yeah, okay.
Although this is a good... This is oddly a good detachment for any Space Marine army that doesn't have a named character.
Is it infantry only?
Astartes jump pack unit.
Okay.
So that is literally only infantry units. But if you're an Iron Hands player that doesn't care about having Ferris jobby on the table,
yeah,
it's cool. Or if you're a Raven Guard player, then you're not taking Corvus, then yeah, it's fine. It's not. It doesn't scream Blood Angels to me. The army, this detachment rule. So enhancements: Artisan of War, improve the arm penetration characteristics of weapons.
Use your words.
Improve the arm penetration characteristics of the bearer's weapons by 1, and the bearer has a save characteristic of 2. I'm going to check something. This has changed.
Is it your penis?
It is my penis. I always look at a picture of my penis to get through the day.
Me too. I look at a picture of your penis too. Crappers Palace, thank you for the 5.
I've always had the arm penetrations. You pick one weapon.
Yeah.
For the last year, I've gone one of the bearer's weapons is improved by 1, and then he gets to save a 2+. It's all of their weapons.
Yeah.
It's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really good when you know the rules.
It's really good when you read it properly.
Yeah. It's first time.
I'll get to your super chat in a minute with Crumpets Panda. Joe just interrupted.
What's Crumpets Panda saying?
He's trying to be 10th positive. I don't know if that means he's struggling or not.
What's your favourite model of 10th today, not counting the Gorgeous Sisters model that came out of Black Library today?
I don't love that model, actually.
That model would be great without the flaming sword.
Yeah, the flaming sword is why I don't like the model. My favourite is the Avatar of Cain.
Because he came out in 10th? Are we saying only models that came out in 10th?
Oh. What came out in 10th? Crew.
Astra. Oh.
Astra, Flamates.
The Lictor.
Sanguinor, Lictor.
Hardly know her.
I think that one has to win just for that reason alone.
Yeah.
Just because it sold me loads of t-shirts.
The Lictor.
Exclamation mark merch.
The Lictor model is, I've said it a million times, is incredible. It's so good.
Yeah, the Lictor model's banging.
It outshines every model that Codex has released for the Tyranid range in terms of posability.
Are you really not picking old Stiltman from the Admech?
I didn't like him when I saw the pictures, but when I built and painted him, I was like, this is a fun model.
What did Chaos get?
A jump captain and a captain on foot.
I like the captain on foot, the Lord on foot a lot.
The Lord on foot is great because he's basically Mini Abaddon.
Yeah, I really like him.
He's a really nice model.
He's cool. Yeah, Lictor. I think Lictor wins actually because of the way that kit works.
New Astrath is nice.
I love New Astra.
New Astrath's stunning. New Lamatis is cool, but it's not as good as Astrath. It's got to be a Lictor. So good.
Oh, I want to pick something different now just because I feel like you deserve a different option. These are 10th edition, aren't they? But this Kill Team.
They are, yeah. You can say them because you still use them.
The
new Scions look really, really nice. Stunning models. I really like them. They're a bit Marmitey though, aren't they? The new Scions.
I love everything Kroot.
The Kroot range did do very well out of 10th edition.
That counts.
The
The Lictor kit was just so incredible that it just kind of outshines everything else at the moment. Like the fact that you can build those 3 kits from the one kit and they all look very different.
The thing is though, you could build 3 kits from one kit, but it's not 3 kits. It's not. There's 3 very specific designs, but all 6 leg options and all of the mandible. They're not mandibles with that one, but there's 3 head options, 6 leg options, different arm options, and then the fondlers. You can have all the different. You can literally just have them in any way you want. So good.
Yeah, all Big Mac. All Big Mac is sexy, to be fair.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying the other day when we talked about the difference in Sangard, or we talk about Stiltman for Admech. They definitely still have more hits than misses.
Yeah, and then the new Terminator range is really good.
Oh, I do like the new Terminators.
The new
As a man who never
article.
liked Terminators, I know you hate me for this. As a man who never liked Terminators, when they said, "Oh, we're bringing out new Terminators," I was not really bothered. When I saw them from what's it called?
Pictures.
From Games Workshop,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, actually."
The new Deathwing Knights, I didn't like their pictures. We got the models, beautiful.
Yeah, and as is their chaplain as well. What's he called?
Oh, the new Terminator Chaplain.
Not that one.
He's a beautiful model.
Asmodai from the Dark Angels.
Yeah, smoky guy.
Oh, Inner Circle Companions, by the way.
He looks like he's hotboxing, doesn't he?
I didn't put the smoke on. He looks right.
Yeah. The
Inner Circle Companions are pretty goated as well.
the new Chaplain model, that was awful. Remember when that came out? The shit that picture got? He looked derpy as hell.
Gaz shared a thing on his Instagram recently, right, about Games Workshop's taking photo guide and finding the golden angle of a model. I'm like, you should probably tell your photographer this.
Yeah, because that Terminator Chaplain got some shit. But I got hold of him. I've built and painted 3.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Your golden angle lesson that you put on your photographs, you should do it yourself. Yeah, you should. So.
Yeah, Crumbit's band. There's a lot to love about 10th edition, and the models that have come out in it. There are a lot more hits than misses, but the misses do miss very wide.
Why would you hit your missus?
What? When she talks back. When she doesn't cook me dinner.
Joe just doubling down.
Yeah. I don't. She beats me. Visage of Death.
She beats you off.
No, never. Astartes jump pack model only. In the Battleshock step of your opponent's command phase, each enemy unit, excluding monsters and vehicles within engagement range of the bearer, must take a Battleshock test.
A Battleshock?
That's quite good. I feel like that would be a really good one for the Death Company detachment.
Yeah, but it makes more narrative sense.
Boogly boogly.
It makes more narrative sense for Sangard, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, because of their scary masks.
Yeah. Scary mask.
Thing is, though, right, narratively, the scary mask thing doesn't make a vast amount of sense to me. In a universe full of literal demons and big angry monsters that consume planets, some guy in gold with a big open mouth mask It's not scary, is it?
I'm pretty scared of that, Joe. An idea.
Yeah.
That was terrifying for a moment.
All right, that's. But
Imhotep is stunning, actually. Yeah, he was cool. I forgot he came out.
Yeah.
As did the other dude.
It's like Anoxenum.
What was the dude that came? The other dude that came out alongside him.
Wibbly Jibbler.
He's
Lord of
from-
Cubes.
He's from Infinite Divine.
Sounds like a.
Not Trazin, but the other guy.
Candy.
The other guy, not Trazin. The other guy in Infinite Oricon. The Oricon model's pretty
Orifice.
cool. Orifice, the Diviner, yeah.
Yeah. The Archangel Shard. Astartes jump pack model only. The bearer's melee weapons have the anti-chaos 5+ and lance abilities. So that's from T'other one as well. And then the gleaming pinions. Astartes jump pack model only. Once per turn, when an enemy unit ends a normal or advance or fallback move within 9 inches of the bearer, if this bearer's unit is not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, it can make a normal move of up to 6 inches. That's quite good. I like that one. So you can go forward, kill a unit, and then be on objective, and then someone comes to get you.
By the way,
You're like, whoop, 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 run away.
anything where it's like anti-chaos 5+ or whatever can get in the bin. If you're playing narratively, okay, cool. And if you're playing with friends where you know they always bring in chaos and you want to play a narrative campaign, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you don't pick enhancements like with certain other games. You don't pick enhancements at the start of the battle. You pick enhancements as part of your list building process.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, I'm going to pick anti-chaos 5+. Go to a tournament, play 5 games, not play chaos once.
Yeah.
Get in the bin.
Yeah. Or I'd make it 5 points cheaper and go. Because what's that? The Angel's Shot.
The Archangel Shat.
The Angel Shard is 20 points.
Fucking hell. Yeah, get in the bin.
Right.
Shit.
If it was 10 points and it goes Angel Shard, you just give him Lance, you're like, yeah, it's all right.
10 points Lance, happy days.
But
50
is
points
that
Lance,
good
happy
as
days.
1 CP, the entire unit gets Lance?
Oh, yeah.
That's the
True.
trade-off. Right. The stratagems, Armor of Contempt exists. Unbridle the door.
Unbridle the door?
Yeah.
Hold the door.
Yeah. Put a bridle on the door, basically.
Do a bride in the door.
Yeah. Any phase, one of the unit from your army that was just destroyed, you can use stratagem until the end of the battle. Each time a friendly Sanguinary Guard unit makes an attack that targets the enemy unit that just destroyed your unit, you can re-roll the hit and you can re-roll the wound roll. That's very good, isn't it? That's very strong. You go, be free, Captain, away with you. Or off you go, scouts. Bye-bye. Yeah. It's like just prodding them along the table with a big stick. Off you go.
Yeah.
Oh, they're dead. What a shame.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
That was sad.
Yeah.
Probably.
Charge! The Angel's Sacrifice is the other one. At the start of the fight phase, one Adeptus Astartes jump pack unit from your army until the end of the phase. Each time an enemy model within engagement range of a unit selects its targets, it must select your unit as the target of the attacks. I love this one because I fucked off a lot of people in it in the last edition.
Joe is. So you remember last night we were talking about tournaments, chat, where I was like, I like to take tournament lists that are quite technical to play, lots of trading. I score lots of points. I don't kill many things. The army I'm building doesn't have the capacity to kill almost fucking anything. And then my opponent also gets to kill lots of stuff. If I do really well at my point scoring, I can still win. Whilst he gets to kill loads of stuff, he gets loads of fun. Joe's like, I like to turn up and oppress people. That's what he does.
Impress them, yeah.
Oppress people.
This is like Angel's Sacrifice is a great excuse, and so is Unbridled Adore, to be honest, to have a bunch of just Space Marine captains with jump packs just plodding around on their own.
I know, yeah.
They're like, go over there.
22 captain list. 22 captain list. Joe.
Well, it'd be, I'd say, 15 captains and 3 units of Sanguinary Guard.
Okay.
But yeah, Angel's Sacrifice is great. It's such a great stratagem. It's like, I'm going to charge this one captain and this unit of Sanguinary Guard and the captain, and you go, you can only fight the captain on his own. Please kill him. Oh, you've killed him. I get to reroll all my hits and wounds versus them now.
Shank, shank, shank.
Shank, shank, shank. It's great. It's a good little combo, actually. I like that one. Martial Exemplars, the fight phase. One Adeptus Astartes a jump pack unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in your unit have the lethal hit and precision ability.
That's nice.
Precision is strong. I like precision.
Precision on Sangard, tasty. Is it locked to Sangard or is that any unit?
Any unit with jump pack.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Very good. The detachment rule is bonk.
I don't think it is. If you go fix secondaries, something like behind enemy lines, and deploy, and you take lots of you can take 3 to 4. No, you can take 3 jump pack intercessor units just for the sole purpose of doing and maxing secondaries. Competitively, good.
If you take fixed, you're a nonce. I'm just like you're not. No, terrible people take fixed. All right, you go fun. And only fun.
Sometimes, chat, the opinions of Joe's are just the opinion of Joe's, not necessarily the opinions of the channel.
You're not really. You know what I say when you can't control me? I can just do stuff.
I very much can. That's what disciplinary process is for.
Sean Williams says the new stream title is Joe the baddie.
Joe's not a baddie. Going to a tournament game and looking to impress your opponent to get the win isn't necessarily a bad thing. And Joe likes to get people to a point where the vein is popping out their forehead. They want to throw the table at him. He's like, I've got you now.
That was 1 to 3 people. That was it. In a weekend.
Out of 5.
Out of 5. You can take fixed if you want. All right, you're not a bad person.
Fixed is arguably the more competitive choice when you're playing competitive Warhammer. So if you want to go and win, there are lots of armies out there that can choose fixed objectives.
Yeah, I think.
If you build a list to do those objectives, you've got less chance of pulling a card and going, I flat can't do that.
If you're going to go fixed, you have to decide to go fixed when you're building your army.
I also would argue that if you're going to go fixed, you need to factor in some kind of mechanic that allows you to gain a CP a turn or use stratagems for less cost.
Yeah.
Because if you go fixed and you don't have that mechanic, you're going, I have 5 CP. That's it, right? If you go fixed, but you can do one for free every turn and that unit stays alive, you've got 10, or you can generate CP, you've got 10. Because what you can't do is pull a card. You use this a few times at the weekend, I'm sure you won't mind me saying. First turn, I'm pulling cards, I'm going to get rid of one. I've got 2 CP in the bank for a fight on death or an interrupt.
Yeah.
Right?
There are times when I'd pull 2 good ones and be like,
I want to throw one for the CP.
I'm going to throw one away.
Yeah.
And then my opponent's like, but that gets you points. And I'm like, it does, but I need the command points.
Yeah.
That's one thing to be aware of, by the way. If you're a Blood Angels player, you have to be good at managing command points.
So I feel like what I would have done if I was the Blood Angels team, potentially, is put the Angelic Host in as the first detachment, then the Death Company one, and then the generic one. Yeah. Because what we did is we went from one detachment, which is incredible, to a second detachment, which is good, to a third detachment, which is okay, but a bit meh.
Well, I've not finished this one yet.
Oh, fuck me, it's half fucking 3,
right, Descent of Angels is your movement phase. 1 Adeptus Astartes jump pack unit from your army that is arriving via Deep Strike.
3 inches?
Yeah, 3 inches away. It's good. This is the I want to play technically army, basically. And then Death from the Skies, your charge phase. 1 Adeptus Astartes jump pack unit from your army that advanced or fell back this turn. Until the end of the turn, this unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back.
Good. The way I like to play competitive Warhammer,
yeah,
that's the detachment I'd probably want to take. It's not as good as the other 2 in terms of raw damage output and power.
So yeah,
but for technical play, I think it's better.
So yeah, the Angelic Host is your tournament army. If you want to go to a tournament and win and play, if you want to play to win, you take the Angelic Host. If you want to do what I do and be a complete troll / goblin, right? You take the Liberator Assault Force, and your opponent's like, well, how are you going to win the game? I'm like, you can't win the game if you're dead.
Well, it depends on when they're dead.
Yeah.
If they're dead on turn 5, they might have won the game, Jay. Probably. If they're dead on turn 2, you're correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, if you're playing 3 games at an event and you want to do well at the event, you probably take the Angelic Host because there's lots of thinking, there's lots of model placements important.
Super technical though, hard to master comparatively.
If you're 5+, a Liberator Assault Force, no thinking needed.
Yeah.
As we do every game.
Well, that's not to say, by the way, that the other two aren't competitive detachments. I think the Death Company one is arguably the least competitive.
Yeah,
because of the restrictions of you need chaplains on all your units, and the second you need chaplains on all your units, that unit gets more efficient, but it becomes points heavy. Otherwise, you can't use stratagems or you can't hold objectives, etc., etc.
Yeah, basically the Lost Brethren, out of the three, my personal opinion is Liberator, Angelic Host, Lost Brethren. However, the Lost Brethren detachment isn't bad.
Correct. Agree.
Right? It's like going, here's 3 bars of gold. They all have the exact same value, but one's shinier than the other. The thing is, the Lost Brethren in any other codex is a great detachment.
I don't know where your mind goes sometimes.
I don't.
You're suggesting people want the shinier gold, right?
Yeah, they want the best version.
Okay.
There's like here's your Mustang, here's your Porsche, here's your Ford Capri. 3-litre turbo.
Right. Okay.
All right. So Lost Brethren is great. It's like Warhammer hard mode, isn't it?
Tell me enough about cars without telling me nothing about cars. Good. Okay.
That's the Quattro, not a.
Which one of those 3 of the Ford Capri, the Mustang, or the Porsche is the Quattro, Joe? None of them. Quattro is not a Porsche or a Ford
it's Audi,
thing.
isn't it?
Fuck it. Point proven. Right. Okay.
Right. What does it matter? Because none of them have got any fucking wheels.
What are you using tonight?
Your mum.
We did Liberator Assault Group last week.
Oh yeah.
So I'd like for you to use a different one tonight.
Boo.
We're going to use a different one. You don't have to pick now.
I'm going to use the Angelic Host.
Perfect. Angelic Host tonight, then, chat, for you at 7:30 against Paddy, who's running the Thousand Suns.
Thousands of them.
Thousands of them. Our personal opinion is this book is fucking incredible from a rules perspective.
Yeah.
Right? I think it narratively sits.
We haven't even looked at the units yet.
The only narrative that doesn't work, I think, is Death Company Captain, but we've gone through as to why. In terms of the way the rules work in the detachments and the stratagems, etc., I think it's very narrative. I think narratively also very strong, competitively very good. I do think we might see some points tweaking because I think at the moment certain things are probably going to end up being too efficient. But the detachments are good. The book is good. If you're a Blood Angels fan, I think there's reasons to be happy. Like I said, if you buy into they're just shit now because they've lost all their flavour in terms of the actual models, I don't buy into that personally. I think the models are all quite nice. Yes, okay. Death Company just get a couple of weapon options and a couple of heads, and that's it. And you don't even have shoulder pads anymore. Yes, okay. And by the way, can we mention that the transfers for Death Company shoulder pads they only give you 9, which is an odd choice.
They give you.
I thought you said 9.
Technically, there are 9, but there are 5 to go on shoulder pads, and then 4 that are technically too small to go on shoulder pads. So they go on other parts of the armour. So you get 5 and 4 flourishes, but
you only get one transfer sheet in the box. You get 2 transfer sheets.
Yeah, for 20 models.
Okay, so not enough strictly.
Yeah,
But so and then obviously Sangard. We've discussed that loads.
I think.
I hope.
Therefore, I am.
Oh, Dakar.
I think there's another transfer sheet coming.
I don't.
I think there's one for this box set. Because like how Leviathan has a different transfer sheet to everyone else's transfer sheet.
Yeah.
I think it's different.
I don't, maybe.
Because like they've gone, because on the transfer sheet you've got Blood Angels, Flesh Tearers, and we know that Games Workshop hates Flesh Tearers now, and Angels in Carmine, which is an odd choice.
Do they already have, I was just looking for it, they already have a transfer sheet for the Primaris upgrade spree. So do they already have 2 transfer sheets already?
Well, the Primaris upgrade spree will probably go away and get replaced by the new one. Maybe. Which if it gets replaced by the new one, it'll go into the smaller box. Yeah. And the new transfer sheet is twice the size. So they'd have to do a smaller one.
So there you go. Get to watch Angelic Host tonight, which will be exciting. More Blood Angel stuff.
I have watched Top Gear, by the way, Hardborn. I just don't pay attention to the car stuff.
Anyway, we're half hour over already. I'm getting hungry. I didn't have any lunch because I was at the hospital before I came here. I'm fucking starving now.
I love hospital food.
Yeah?
Yeah. Really nice.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, by the way, for all the super chats, all the questions, all the donations, all the gifted memberships. We did hit our target of 100 exactly.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you. I'm tired. I get to produce tonight. Can't wait. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.